All right. TCF patch 2.2.0 on the 12th of October 2022. Anno Domini. Quite a few balance changes this patch. Let's go. Overall, we've gotten a lot of feedback that especially late game armor has not been impactful enough. We want to be in a place where a lesser geared player can defeat players with better gear if they outplay and land their shots. However, we want armor and gear to be something that matters and is desirable and does give you an advantage and feels impactful. And this goal isn't quite been hitting in Season 2. What we've done here is essentially two things. Armor and pen now increase linearly +5 per tier. This means that where previously the jumps from gray to green to blue were most impactful, now the difference is the same for each tier. The damage mitigation formula is tuned so that the difference between tiers is slightly increased. This means that a low tier gun will now be less effective, for example, against an exotic armor than previously. We're not talking huge changes, but we hope that the jumps in especially late game gear tiers should be more noticeable and feel more impactful. We've also slightly reduced Kmark prices of gear that is blue and above. In a nutshell, gear now matters more, but is also more accessible to hit a better spot in terms of value for money. Let us know how it plays. In addition to the above, there are also many tuning changes, specific guns and systems on, e.g. the C32, Shattergun, and shotguns in general, but let's get some SMGs back into the late game mix based on great feedback we've been getting from the community. Changes. Karma sound effects overhaul, okay? Spawn rules for map 3 got adjusted. Great. That is something that I did have issue with. Power of looting step added to the tutorial. Increased contrast on the evac on the map. The map name will now be shown on the in-game map now. We've revised some of the mission text to make it more clear. We've improved map selection screen. It now shows additional information. You'll be able to see the max number of players on the selection. I love that. Remove the need to crouch when you enter the forge pipe room. We've added 3 new trio spawn locations for map 3. Slightly increased brightness in the darkest areas. More significant improvements to visibility coming the next patch. That's awesome. Added and updated some of our anti-cheat detections. I'm particularly excited about the increased brightness in dark areas. Weapons and gear. Armor and pen progression values have been rescaled throughout the rarity levels. Common remains at 10. Uncommon, previously 17, is now 15. Interesting. Rare from 23 to 20. Epic from 27 to 25. So this is the armor values that are assigned to armors. Exotic remains at 30. Leggy remains at 33. Damage mitigation formula is reworked to increase the difference between low tier and high tier. 5 points difference from 11% to 13% damage reduction and amplification. Example, 15 pen versus 10 armor now has a 13% damage amplification, while 10 pen versus 15 armor has a 13% damage reduction. 10-point difference from 20 to 23% reduction amplification, and 20-point difference from 33 to 37. So it is the relationship between the armor and the pen value of the weapon that determines potential damage amplification and or reduction per bullet from the listed damage. Hopefully that makes things more clear to you guys. K28. Increased damage from 12 to 13. Reduced recoil. Love this change. I want to see the K28 get into a spot where it's usable. C32. Damage reduction from 57 to 50. Now, this matters because if the damage is reduced at all, potentially by armor, where there is a significant reduction, it will require more shots to body shot someone to death. There are multiple instances where I think that this will make a difference, which is excellent. Price is reduced from 10,000 to 6,800 Kmark. So while they are making it less effective, it is going to be cheaper. Trench gun. Movement speed is now reduced by 10% when the weapon is drawn. Weird change. The trench gun already in a very bad spot. Damage-wise, way worse than it was last season, and now people are even slower with it. Kind of disagree with this change. Maybe the better nerf at the end of the day than the original damage nerf. Scarab reduced refire time from 0.34 to 0.26. So the Scarab I thought was really strong already this wipe. And here we are seeing the reduced refire time. So your burst can be fired with quicker succession, making it even stronger. Weird. Interesting. Worth trying for sure. Maelstrom. Movement speed is now reduced by 10%. I think ultimately they just looked at it like we need to nerf shotguns and we need to give people a reason to run them less. I don't think that that is the right approach at all. And I see that they've done it also with the shatter gun right below. I think this is the wrong way to approach shotguns. They cannot be treated equally across the board like this. It is not an effective way to balance the game. Now, the Shattergun also now reaches its maximum damage reduction due to distance, 50% at 20 meters now instead of 30. I think that is for the best. That is a good nerf. It reaches its maximum damage reduction at 20 meters instead of 30. So you cannot use the Shattergun in a mid-range fight. Not really. Increase the mag size from 2 to 5 for the Karma. I think that's good. You pay that much, man. I mean, a two round mag is so silly. Zeus Beam. Reduced recoil 50%. Wow. I haven't used the Zeus Beam in a long time. I didn't think the recoil was crazy then, but maybe it has been changed in recent history. So I can't really comment on that one. Reduced the buying price of rare and exotic weapons. Lacerator from 41 to 31. Maelstrom from 22 to 17, Guarantee from 31 to 24, Phasic from 31 to 24, Flechette from 54 to 41, Gorgon from 76 to 58. This is your big value right now. 58,000 for the Gorgon in its current state is wild. Actually wild. If you are still running quests on Bright Sands and you get access to the Gorgon, run that shit for 58k. You will decimate lobby after lobby after lobby. Especially if you use a Bolty first, you get the Bolty tag, finish with the Gorgon. It's free every time. And very fun. Also, don't feel the need to ADS it. That's my pro tip for this video. Hipfire Gorgon is crazy. Anyway. Shatter from 54 to 41. That's kind of a crazy change. But again, nerfed at least a little bit. Advocate 76 to 58. It's good to see that that one's a significant one. I think the Advocate is not very good. Hammer, also a significant reduction. I like that. Core, also a significant reduction. Brute, 149 to 114. This makes the Brute a lot more affordable as one of the absolute best weapons in the game all around. I love using it. I'm looking forward to getting weird with it here soon. Kinetic Arbiter, 412 to 315. And Bazzi from 275 to 210. Okay. Reduce the buying price of Epic to exotic helmets and shields. Epic Helmet from 23 to 17. Exotic 5134, Epic Shield 4639, Exotic 10379. So, I think this is okay too. I think really what they want is to make all this endgame stuff more accessible so they can get better data so that they can balance it better and make sure that the tweaks they are making are right for the future. So I think that that's a big reason why we see the reduction in price for all this, maybe more so than anything else. That accessibility helps them actually test and drive their theories with regards to how they balance. Selling prices and repair costs are adjusted consequently. You can charge your heavy melee attack when sprinting again, setting you once more on a warpath of unbridled mayhem and fury. Excellent, as it should be. Bug fixes. Fix some issues with players being stuck on a mission instead of being able to complete it. Glass roof in the rock pools area has finally went through some badly needed maintenance. Won't let raindrops pour through. Can't break the landing animation anymore with a swing of your trusty melee. Dual challenge banner got a color adjust. You'll finally be able to escape the social overview window by pressing escape. Thank God, man. Having to hit O was very triggering. As specific as it sounds, the healing animation while crouched now allows players when observing someone in third person. Now it plays properly. Very weird, okay? Meteor debris got their color corrected. Repair successful message now appears in white instead of yellow. As the Elder Gods of UI have always intended. Yes, because you never knew whether or not it failed or not. Due to like inventory space or other stuff. Perks on helmets were not centered. They are now. You'll be able to properly access Bottom's Codex now. It could happen that you need to turn your flashlight attachment on a weapon twice after switching away. We replaced those shoddy flashlights, and it's better now. Waterfall audio fixed. Running motion and footsteps sounds when carrying Bazzy. And legendary backpack fixed. Main culprit of Marauder teleporting at times fixed. That's a big one. Very excited for that. Healing speed of perks got fixed. Another fix for evac ramps have been implemented, preventing those ships from acting as a homemade catapults. Excellent. Fix an issue where bullets would sometimes ignore armor. We will continue to monitor this issue. This was happening with the Scrapper, in my opinion. High fire rate guns were the biggest issue. This is also the case with Manticore, and this is why it feels inconsistent for damage. Sometimes where you feel like you take a lot of damage very quick, in my opinion, it's because it's ignoring the armor. This was my running theory, and I'm very happy to see that they're keeping an eye on it. Fix an issue with broken storm sound effects. Several map exploits on Theris. Stop players from being able to phase through doors on water facility, allowing that door to finally express its primary function. Stim and medkit healing speed perks actually do something now. Fix the bug that caused alien backpacks to mysteriously appear in the crafting station, and yet the truth remains elsewhere. Maps. We fixed a bunch of issues on map 3. Stuck spots, object clipping, out of bounds areas, accessing unreachable areas. Okay. Known issues. Alien Hunter Vision is still being adjusted. They are still testing the changes and hope to re-enable the perk next patch if everything goes according to plan. Player quarter upgrades may sometimes not complete when the players end when the timer completes. So I personally have been skipping most of these timers because it does bug out a lot. And so to avoid bugging out, I skip it through paying money or K-marks. And, it's not the easiest way to progress, but it did prevent that bug. But I'm glad that they're working on it so people don't have to do that. No reg hit markers occurring during combat is currently being investigated by the team. That's also excellent. I was noticing some of those, but not a lot this season. Less than last season for the no reg, so that's good. Sparkling pool area on Theris is spawning too many mushrooms. I actually love how many mushrooms it's spawning. It's pretty funny. Working with our horticulture team to get that more under control. Nice. Paul Stamets is mad happy about it, though. I'll tell you that. Fortuna Pass Daily Quest XP not resetting for some users. Some users are experiencing unrecoverable error crash. Please reach out to the team via Discord if this is you. Users can occasionally get stuck in a reconnect and crash loop. Some textures on Theris take extra time to load. Though it was addressed in the previous patch, some users are still reporting getting stuck during the FTUE tasks from bottom. If this happens, please reach out to a community manager via Discord DMs or also including your in-game name. That's all we've got for you this time around. These balancing changes should make progression feel a bit more rewarding while still giving the first-time prospectors a fighting chance against those who have found success in their ventures planet side. We will, of course, be monitoring these balance changes to make sure they have an impact that are intended, so please make sure you share your feedback after trying things out for a few drops. The team is still working hard on fixes and updates that will come from future patches. Happy prospecting to all those brave enough to venture onto Fortuna 3. May the RNG gods be with you all. As usual, don't forget, join the Discord, follow on Twitter. Thanks for time and attention. Fortuna 3 will open again once our maintenance is done and over. And of course, as you all know, Fortuna favors the bold pog. Great patch notes. Most things I agree with, some things I don't. Let me know what you guys like or dislike down below in the comments. And good luck out there. Happy hunting and happy season 2.